Okay guys, we're gonna move on to the fermented pickles. Now what we're gonna need for this is half-gallon canning jars. Make sure they're very clean and sanitized. Our pickling cucumbers with the ends cut off. Our pickling salt. Make sure again that it's the canning salt. And here I've got various peppers. I've got, these are, what are these, James? Hungarian hots. And then I've got jalapenos. I have got cabbage leaves. I have got grape leaves. I've got bay leaves. Coffee filters. I've got dillweed here, both the heads and whatever these are called, the stems. I've got garlic, and I've got bands to hold the coffee filters on the jars. So the very first thing you need to do is mix your brine, because that takes a minute. Let's move it over here. That takes a minute to dissolve the salt. And to 8 cups of water, 8 cups of water, you want to use 5 tablespoons that was 5. And because they weren't full, I added a little more. Now, make sure you use bottled water or filtered water. If you're on city water, you don't want to use that because of the chlorine that's in it. That's not good for your pickles. So use filtered or bottled. So what we're going to do, we're going to mix that up. And we're gonna let that dissolve, and when that's dissolved, we'll be back.
Yep, there she is cleaning the seeds out of the peppers.
Now here again, guys, you wanna make sure that you get the ribs out and all the seeds. We are also going to put jalapenos in there, but I'm going to leave the seeds in there. And these were fresh picked out of the garden today. Okay, assembly. The first thing we want to do is take our clean jar. Now, the purpose of the grape leaf, it's got tannin in it. And that will keep your pickles from getting soft. It'll help keep them crunchy. So the first thing I do is I put that in the bottom, just like so. And then I take garlic, throw that in there. We really like garlic, so I use quite a bit. And yes, this is garlic from the garden. And I want to take a few sprigs. What's this called?
Veal.
A veal, duh. Throw that in there. Now make sure your hands are very clean when you do this. And then you just start packing your jar using the bigger pickles on the bottom. They just fit in there better if you do that. Let me get this crooked one out of here. Now you want to pack these fairly tight. Just push them on down in there. Then you use your smaller ones to get down in the crevices. Okay guys, we're going to take a little more of the dill and throw down in there. And one more head. I may just add one more garlic. Okay, now what I do, I add bay leaf because I like the flavor it gives it. And there again, it contains tannin that'll keep your pickles crisp. The jalapeno in there. Okay. Okay, now what you do, you take your water with, it's 8 cups of water and 5 tablespoons of your pickle and canning salt. And all you do is you pour that in there. And of course, I make a mess because that's just how I roll. You want to fill it almost to the top. Now the cabbage leaves, you want to make sure everything stays below the brine for the entire process. So what I do, I don't have any of the newer fangled things like the weights or anything. I'm just going to do it the way my grandma used to do it, and that was keeping things weighted down with a cabbage leaf. Dry off that lid top a little bit. And what you do, you take 2 coffee filters and you put that over the top. Take a hairband that you've never used for anything. You put it on there. Now you want to keep this in a dark, cool place, not the refrigerator, because you do want it to ferment, but you don't want it in a hot spot to where it just all goes bad. So what we'll do, I'll put this under a cupboard where it's cool, and we will check it in 7 days. It'll probably go a full 14 days, but every batch is different. And you'll learn as you go. Then we move on to the second one, which is the same process. So this is how you ferment pickles. And I will be back in 7 days to show you how it looks, and every day thereafter to show you how it's progressing. Okay guys, we're gonna do slicers because we like them on our hamburgers, or we could even chop them up for on conies or hot dogs. So what I do, same thing, grape leaf goes on the bottom, throw some garlic in there. And yes, we do like a lot of garlic. down in there. And then just fill your jar. Now, one thing I didn't mention with the other jars is you do need to make sure you get all the air bubbles out. That's an important step that I just forgot to mention. Pack them in there good. The more the better. Oop.
Run away.
Cucumber down. That's going to be about it for this one. I'm going to stand up to pour this water because I'm horrible at it. Might as well throw this one in there. Ah, see what I mean? Fill it all the way to the top. Now what I do is take a spoon down in there to release the air. And sometimes you do lose a cucumber that way, but I'd still rather you lose 1 or 2 cucumbers than lose the whole batch to an air bubble. There, I got them all. Press down. I do believe we could add a few more cucumbers to this. Now you know why I do it outside. Because I'm messy. Oh, you know what? I forgot my bay leaf. I'm gonna put 3 of them in there because, like I said, I really like the flavor.
You might sound like a little staticky in the part of the video just before this one, but it started raining and it was hitting the metal roof.
There you go, guys. Just pack that down there so the cucumbers underneath are underwater. Add your coffee filters. And there you are.